Hi friends, welcome to my healthy kitchen. What about keto-friendly, vegan-friendly, gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free, chocolate cherry cake? This is absolutely wholesome, delicious, very chocolate cake, particular baked, particular raw, and we combine all these techniques and it will be super easy to make even for beginners because we do not frost and smooth the cake. It will be super easy, extremely fast, and so good. Let's get started. First, we need to bake a chocolate sponge. Because our cake is gluten-free, I will be using the mix of gluten-free flours. It's quinoa flour, white rice flour, and tapioca. And of course, baking powder, soda, and salt are here like in any other bake recipes. Instead of eggs, we will be using flax seeds, and for chocolate flavor, I will be using real raw cacao powder. And let me tell you a few words about the sweetener that I'm going to use for our sugar-free cake. Recently, I opened the world of monk fruit sweetener. It's absolutely amazing product without any aftertaste, like for example stevia. Monk fruit has been used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine. Because monk fruit is carb and sugar-free and does not raise blood sugar levels, it's considered to be a safe sugar substitute for the keto dieter. From wet ingredients, we will be using melted coconut oil extra virgin, almond milk, 2 shots of espresso, and pure vanilla extract. Let's talk about quinoa flour. As a pastry chef, I would like to say you that the baked vegan gluten-free cakes based on quinoa flour are the most high rated by my customers. I use it for both birthdays and wedding cakes. Quinoa flour is especially great for baking gluten-free pastries because of its protein content. Since gluten is a protein, it is important to use high-protein flours such as quinoa when baking gluten-free. The protein in quinoa flour helps to give your cake some structure and will improve the overall texture. But today I couldn't find quinoa flour in my local stores and we will be making it by ourselves. Simply grind the whole quinoa in high-speed blender or in coffee grinder, sift it, and here you are, you have quinoa flour. So let's mix our butter. Combine almond milk, coffee, monk fruit sweetener, melted coconut oil and vanilla extract in one bowl. Using electric mixer on medium speed, combine these ingredients. After this, add ground flax seeds and tapioca flour. Now you need to mix everything 3-5 minutes. Mix it very carefully. Be sure that tapioca flour is dissolved completely. And after this, leave the mixture for about 5-10 minutes. During this time, flax seeds and tapioca will start emulsifying process. And now we can prepare our molds for baking. We need 2 molds today, or 2 baking pans. We need one 6-inch pan and we need one 7-inch pan. Please see that they have different size. If you use rings for baking like me, make a bottom with aluminum foil, or please use regular baking pans. Make a parchment paper round and line it in a pan. Grease a pan using coconut oil. I have a cooking spray, but regular coconut oil works perfectly here as well. I also flouring the sides of my pan with white rice flour. By the way, if you have baking stripes, you can use them as well, but it's not necessary. At this moment, you can preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. Okay, let's return to our butter. Now we are adding salt, baking powder, baking soda, and white rice flour. Mix everything well. Adding quinoa flour, you can do it in 2 steps, like I do it right now. And at the end, I'm adding cacao powder. Mix on medium speed for about 3-5 minutes. Mix it really very well. And here is my favorite thing in gluten-free baking. You will not overmix the butter. There is no gluten, so mix well until you are sure that everything is blended perfectly. And pour the butter in our prepared pan, flat the bottom, and bake it for 50-60 minutes. Now we will be making chocolate soufflé filling. In high-speed blender, adding soaked cashews, raw cacao powder, monk fruit sweetener, almond milk, salt and vanilla extract. Blend everything very well. And at the end of this process, we adding melted coconut butter and coconut oil extra virgin. If your blender stucks, stir everything with spatula by hand, like I do it right now. The cream, the final texture of our filling, should be really very thick. Now we need 3 piping bags and kitchen scales. We will divide our filling into 3 parts. 2 parts by 350 grams and 1 piping bag will be with 150-170 grams inside. I do it right now because for me it's easier to do now, and tomorrow when I will be assembling the cake, I will be sure that my layers will be even and beautiful. Once you finish, put our piping bags in the refrigerator for at least 3-4 hours or overnight. Meanwhile, our chocolate sponge is ready. Remove it from the oven, let it cool down in the pan. Once you feel that the sponge is warm, release the cake from the mold, take out the parchment bottom and cover it in plastic wrap. Once the sponge is completely cooled, put it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours or overnight. I usually bake sponges and make filling 1 day before assembling the cake. For me it's easier. Yesterday we baked our chocolate sponge that we will be using today for assembling our cake. I remind you that it is gluten-free, soy-free, totally vegan and sugar-free sponge chocolate cake. And also yesterday we made our chocolate soufflé filling, and it is quite soft right now, and now we're ready to assemble our cake. From this sponge we need to receive 3 layers. I'll be using a very simple cake cutter. Just remind you that we needed 2 sizes of cake rings. We baked in 7 inches ring, and we will be using 6 inches pan right now for cutting edges of our sponges. And also for assembling our cake we need 6 inches pan, the smallest one. Just follow my instructions on the video and do everything what I do with sponges right now. It's very easy. Press 6 inches ring on top of the sponge and you will receive a very beautiful, with smooth edges, chocolate sponge layers for our future cake. Find a bottom for your ring and line the walls with acetate stripes. On the bottom, we put 1 layer of chocolate sponge, then chocolate soufflé. We use the piping bag with 350 grams of chocolate soufflé. In the middle, we put the frosted cherries. Of course, you can use fresh cherries. Put a lot of cherries, it's very delicious. And spread all cream from the same piping bag. Make it flat using spoon or spatula. And repeat the process. Do it the same. Put the sponge, then chocolate souffle and cherries. Oh, when I put the last sponge, you can see that my clear acetate stripe wasn't as tall as I needed. So I just raised up my ring a little bit, and now I have a space to spread 150 grams of chocolate souffle from the last piping bag. I would recommend to work with the top of the cake right now. Make it as flat as possible, as smooth as possible. This is the last thing that we will be doing with this cake.
Now we need to put our cake in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. 4 hours would be perfect.
Once the cake is ready, release it from the mold. Remove this clear wrap and decorate with something minimal. Just a couple of cherries on top would be perfect for this cake. One recommendation before cutting: please leave the cake in room temperature for about 30-40 minutes before serving. It's because it contains coconut oil, and from refrigerator the cake can seem too hard. Here you are.
So that's it. We made keto-friendly, fully vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free chocolate souffle cake.